course, they got a major favorite in this part of the world right now. It's back in the yellow jersey. It's been a little while since we saw Italo Ferreira in that #1 position, nearly 4 years.
You need to look bigger going to the air, and Italo, that's what he's going to do. Run down the line and go into a massive punt. Just to start off, like that's just, you know, first wave, eyeing it down, identifying that section. The section not very hollow and steep, so he wasn't able to actually get too critical. As you see right there, no lip, but he somehow always manages to get that pop in the rotation.
Race as well. Also, J.Bunch. This is him in live action right now. Surfer out of Maui, and he's so light on his feet and sprightly. His air game is crazy. And I think he's one of those surfers that also...
He's not 100% right now. He just got back off a massive injury. So he's going to have to be very smart and make the most of the opportunities he has and be selective, like those little waves.
And he'll be relishing chance to be back here competing in Portugal in that yellow jersey. Meanwhile, Bunch throw up the layback hack, and again, nice and smooth on a really cupped out steep section. He's so light on his feet, nimble surfing there. There's flashes really of why he's been so highly rated down the years.
I mean, how could you not? Like, nice way to start the wave. I would have liked to see him drawn out that carve a little bit more, maybe push a little less, but drawn out, make that turn look bigger. But that second turn was beautiful, nice and critical, a lot of power. He's a big guy, so. And here, Italo just going for broke on that section. But as he's landing right here, you're going to see he's going to float it, but the wave is coming up. Right on, he was about to touch the bottom.
Big hole. Meanwhile, kick cast. Here's Fred into it on the backhands. And he's got so much power late in his maneuvers. A slight redirect, pushes with those long levers.
Started off nicely. Drawn out that snap down the line to get the speed, to get that second beautiful turn. But as you see right there, a little bit tentative. Like the reflexes are still not there, and that's all because of the fear of just being injured for so long, and such a severe injured as well from kickers. But that second turn was money, big, drawn out a little bit more. Yeah, it's crazy.
Whoa, great backhand rotation, J.Bunch. The finger flick to finish as well.
4.5, and then he just goes for broke here. Bigger wave, bigger section, more speed, and rotating all the way around, landing on top, and somehow it seems like he's going to get a little bit stuck, but comes out perfectly clean right there. See the rotation, the head, how he's going to whip around halfway through the rotation to get that extra energy and speed. You're going to see it right now. Keeps that head over his shoulder rotating, and then the board follows up and just makes everything nice and clean for him to land.
I've had really good memories here. Ever since I've first came to Portugal, I've loved this place and the people and everything. So yeah, just trying to enjoy it all, and yeah, I'd love to get that title.
Congratulations, Ethan, off to a great start.
Really, there's only one place to go from runner-up. He'll be having his sights on that. A lot of surfing yet to come before that happens. Enjoying the surfing from this young man a lot. J.Bunch, spark with speed and panache and polish off the top, nice and whippy.
Turn looked much bigger, mostly for a guy that is much smaller in size compared to the opponents because he's so young. Beautiful turn and finish it off strong. Right there, the wave was more critical, a little bit tighter, so he was able to actually do and push more the back foot. But the first turn really set him up for success right there, and it's going to be a great backup score. And he's ahead on this heat, like it's been happening. The guys that started early tending to get a big advantage on top of the surfers and free up a little bit more with the circumstances ahead. And here looks like a drainer just into a closeout for J.Bunch. Just a lot of noise. I feel like it's missing on his wave selection so far. Kika's on the other hand getting up and vertical nicely right there. Combo it up with a nice second turn and finish it off clean. Beautiful, smart surfing for him.
He'll need to use it during the break. Jesse Italo on a solid left.
Yeah, that looked like one of the biggest waves we've seen it reading so far. Just pushing a little bit too much on that last section. Kind of had to, because this first turn here, he starts to draw out, but the wave kind of bottoms out and he loses that inside rail, which the judges are not going to love that. And then he had to kind of go big, but just the wave lacking a little bit of intensity. And Italo up and right, and once again, a lot of action happening here. Finish it off with a nice floater, critical.
He'll look to try and go here. Put some pressure back on J.Bunch. He'll go again. Ferreira loading up with a ton of speed. He sees a section in front of him. Slightly awkward. I don't know how he even got that almost pulled back. He had no right to, really. Almost kind of lay-back landing from him somehow.
Not his manager, but the guy that travels with him, Marquinhos, a few years back, and he was... We'll get back to that after this because Kika's in a bomb.
Absolute bomb for Morais. Belts that one. Super committed vertical surfing, and he actually got completely hung up there. And it just goes to show the aggressive approach here. It's amazing to watch, but unable to pull that one down. But that was a bomb of a wave for Kika.
Got in the water a few weeks ago, and so for him, the priority today is to pick good waves, and if possible, to go left. Although I believe he just got a really great score just happened on the right. But for Kikesh, Dog was emphasizing pick good waves, stick to the lefts if you can, because it'll take some of the pressure off of that injury.
This was big, Jesse.
That's the intensity of wave that he was lacking on the previous air attempts that he had. Look how much more critical, how much more pop he was able to generate all the way down into the flats, and not to mention came out with almost as much speed as he got into the air and finished it off with a big, nice closeout turn. Look at that rotation, how wide his stance gets in order to absorb all that impact. We can't even see him right there. He comes out of it pretty clean and finish it off with a pretty nice turn. I mean,
they can overthink it. Not Italo Ferreira. He's here to perform. He's done that. Meanwhile, live action, quick in and out for Fred Morais, trying to get involved.
Gets the full rotation, comes out clean, and combos it up with a nice maneuver. So, I mean, but well done for Italo to come back on this heat.
He's not going to stop there either. Look how clean this one is on the face. This is great surfing from him. Makes it look so easy. Just able to generate speed from nowhere, really. Visiting the lip with incisive vertical backhand surfing. Let's have another look.
Yeah, nice open wall for him right there. Gets in a little bit weird angle on that first turn. Second turn, nicer, a little bit more critical. Comes out clean and just in a good rhythm.
More great work forthcoming from the yellow jersey. Italo Ferreira loading up here. Throw that one really tail high. And a different sort of maneuver. That one, a closeout, a shorter section, but so much variety and creativity.
Amplitude on that one, like it's incredible. As you see it right here, eyeing it down, knowing this is a one-turn wave. Notice how he was a little bit slower on that air rotation. He knew he needed to get high and get that tail high in order to land at a perfect spot, because the closeout wave was a little bit in front of him, and all that noise on the whitewash had to be cleared for him to land well. So he just does that perfectly and whips his head around right on the end to come out clean.
And after seeing him just struggle a bit, you mentioned, just to find the energy from the waves, he just kept busy, stayed in motion to do 10 waves ridden for him. Meanwhile, Bunch with a load of speed. He'll have to be a little patient. Section just not really cooperative, just drops in front of him when he wanted it to open up. Doesn't do that. And that kind of form from Italo really is why he's back and rejuvenated. Happened for him. Back part of last season, he got that win. It was a while for him to get victory on the championship tour, and as soon as he sort of broke that seal, it's ominous really for everyone else right now.